And continuing our special coverage for the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, Minister of Planning and Economic Development Helal Said officially launched the recent Live for the Climate Resilient Africa initiative, which aims to integrate the climate action into sustainable rural development in the African continent on margin of Agriculture and Adaptation Day at the UN 27th Climate Change Conference in Sharm el-Sheikh. To shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Zeinab Nawar, our economic expert. Good morning, Dr. Nawar.
Good morning, my dear.
Dr. Nawar, how has the Decent Life initiative been presented at the COP27?
Yes, of course. If you talk about the Decent Life and how the Decent Life is bringing new opportunities in different occasions and in different events. Of course, we know how the Decent Life have been started by looking for the needy and looking for the needs of the different villages, and also looking for bringing new opportunities for the youth in different events and different occasions. And then for the COP27, what we can say that the success of the conference and how the conference is representing the true Egypt and the two also challenges that the world is facing related to the climate change, and how Decent Life had brought a lot of youth to represent and to present their projects, clean projects, looking for clean sources of energy in different sectors, and also how it was a new window for a lot of small and medium enterprises to show and to represent their work and their innovative work.
Yes.
Also, different universities and different youth have been presented a lot of innovative techniques in dealing with the climate change. So, Decent Life and all what brought into the COP27 from different youth and different innovative techniques and projects, this was an excellent representation for Egypt in COP27, and also it will pay back for the youth.
Yes. Dr. Nawar, how has the Decent Life developed the rural areas in the Egyptian villages?
Of course, when we talk about the Decent Life, we talk about the infrastructure projects and also the sanitation projects and the new roads that have been built in different poor villages, needy villages. This, of course, will have a big role in achieving economic growth and economic development to these places and these areas in Egypt. So, talking about rural areas in Egypt, there are a lot to be needed to be presented to these rural places, and of course, it will never be the effort of the aid or the whatever NGOs alone. So, because also we have a lot of problems in the rural areas, so it needed to be solved through a governmental or a big initiative like Decent Life. So Decent Life had brought a lot of challenges in terms of infrastructure projects to different rural areas. And this was a must for these places. And what we are looking also now for the Decent Life is they have to think of how to create jobs, to create opportunities. And this is partially happening through some of the events and some of the occasions, but we want to have sustainable techniques for the rural places and the rural areas for job creation, also through Decent Life, if this could be possible.
Yes. How has Egypt's Decent Life initiative been extended to the COP27, Dr. Nawar?
Of course, there are a lot of agreements that have been also done through the COP27. A lot of opportunities that is going to come to Egypt in terms of aid, of course, in terms of investment in clean energy and clean technology. So we hope that part of these projects and part of this agreement to be extended to the Decent Life and to be extended to some of the projects, also to be given to some of the projects in rural areas through Decent Life. So we want what the fruits that we have in the COP27 to be once again, some of these fruits once again to go back to the Decent Life in terms of some of these projects to be implemented in the rural areas through Decent Life.
Yes. How has the international community spoken of the Decent Life initiative and its implementation in Egypt, Dr. Nawar?
Yeah, they receive it very, very good, and they truly understand the need of the rural areas in Egypt in terms of true development, and this is what the Decent Life is bringing into our community. So if you talk about the international community, once again, The international community, if you talk about development and economic growth, we are working on that in Egypt and in rural areas. And this is an Egyptian concern for the first round. But of course, there is an excellent representation because of decent life into the international community, because it tackles all the developmental aspects of the Egyptian citizens who are living in rural areas. But once again, we still need to work on the employability and job creation.
Yes. Dr. Nawar, thank you very much for your very precious input, and our dear viewers. We will go live now to Sharm el-Sheikh for the activities of the COP27
following
summit.
a low-carbon pathway despite accounting for only 3% of global GHG emissions, as evidenced by our regional and national plans